My husband, Tommy Feight, and I'm Mercedes Javid. We are Bravoholics and Bravo-lebrities.
I'm definitely not a Bravoholic. Definitely not. I don't want to be put into that box.
Yeah. Well, this is the show where we talk about all the reality shows that I love. And what do?
I listen.
And make fun of it.
Pretty much.
But you also offer the male perspective insight, which I think is vital when there are so few people, men, straight men, that are, chiming in and being part of the conversation.
Lucky me.
Okay, so as I was trying to say, last episode of Vanderpump Rules, the episode was called Something About Her, named after the sandwich shop that Katie and Ariana are opening up on North Robertson, just a click away from Sir.
I used to live on North Robinson.
You used to live on Clark.
No, I lived on Clark, but it's around the block from Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did I. Remember?
Yes.
A long time ago.
Yes.
So last night was clearly the most.
So that's what we're talking about today is Vanderpump.
Yes, we're going to talk about last night's Vanderpump episode, which was the season 10 episode 14 called Something About Her. If it wasn't episode 14, it was definitely called Something About Her.
Fantastic.
Okay. So for the last time, last night's episode was the most bone-chilling, disturbing, seismically shooketh to your coreth episode of reality TV in the history of time.
That's a pretty big statement.
You will never walk this earth and say that there was a more disturbing episode of reality TV in the history of time.
Okay.
I don't care what comes after, unless it's the reunion, which we're all hoping for. Because what happens in this episode is that you're on the couch wishing that you were Katie so that you could speak for her. We'll get to that. You were also going to be sitting on your couch wishing that you could strangle that you could strangle Rachel.
Raquel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And immediately my mind races to the places like, what is the most torturous thing that you can do to someone while
make them watch this in a loop?
No, bro. Actually, I could watch it 3 or 4 times in a row easily.
Wow. That's troubling.
Have you ever had like a sport where they replay the shot?
Yeah, it's a shot. That's about, 0.2 of a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I could never watch a Met game watch it and watch it again and then watch it again and then watch it again.
Okay, what about a highlights clip?
Not really.
You can never watch a highlights clip twice in a row?
A clip is a clip.
Highlights clip.
That's a clip. It's a clip.
Yeah, let's say it's a 5-minute clip.
There's no such thing.
Well, this whole entire show is highlights and amazing, what do you call it? Like the greatest moments of TV.
Oh, sounds it.
Well, what Andy Cohen used a term called origin scene, which is what I never heard that used before. It means that you're watching the inception of something on camera, like the fact that they caught certain things while the camera's rolling so that we don't hear about it, we actually watch it unfold.
Got it.
Okay? So this episode started off where we saw the last one end with Lala standing between Ariana and Tom Sandoval saying, I don't get it. Why didn't Tom go home when he had the chance? And Ariana's like, he didn't have the opportunity. He couldn't. He didn't have a ride. And she's like, yeah, he did. I was standing right there. Randy was on his way home. And Sandoval decided he wanted to stay longer. And she's like, Ariana's like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. Let me just go and get Sandoval and just ask him. So
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, so Sandoval walks up and she's like, you told me you were taking a shit. But she said,
does sound like
literally-
riveting television.
no, literally, Ariana was like, you told me that you couldn't get a ride home, and that's the reason why you ended up staying at this party for hours longer on the day that her grandmother died. Ariana's grandma died.
Oh. She probably led with that.
Sandoval didn't want to be there. No, because that's the whole thing is like Lala is like,
But
why?
it's a grandmother. You know, it's a grandmother. How close is like it's a grandmother?
They were very close.
Okay. Well, then that changes things a little bit. Has he ever met the grandmother?
Yes.
Okay. Then, yeah, maybe he should have been at the funeral.
Or there to comfort her.
Yeah.
Or like still went to the party, but like go home eventually.
But he needs to blow off steam, as we've learned. He needs that. He needs that.
No, but Lala was like, he decided not to go home to Ariana so that he could stay and hang out with Raquel. So the seeds were already being planted. And here we go. In this episode, we start off with like the little ponies at Villa Rosa, which is LVP's house, with the mini ponies. They're called like Diamond and Velvet. And because Rose like went to heaven. And then you see
what do you like actual ponies?
Yeah, Lisa Vanderpump lives in Beverly Park in the top of Mulholland and the Beverly Hills Canyon.
Okay.
There's no actual canyon called Beverly Hills for everyone who's going to like think that I'm naming a canyon. It doesn't exist. And she has ponies on her property.
Like My Little Ponies?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And she has geese and she has pigs and she has like lots of things, animals.
Oh. Okay. I know she's a big fan of animals.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, but I didn't realize she had actual ponies. That's what you're talking about. I thought that might have been like a slang term for the new girls that they hire at the fucking bar.
Speaking of her like
Little ponies.
No, that was at her house. But speaking of Vanderpump loving animals, we are going to go, not you because you're not coming, but I'm going to go to the Vanderpump Dog Gala. And the next time we come to you guys, it will be the reunion. No, the finale episode and post Vanderpump Gala. So NET, we'll spill it. Boop, boop. Okay.
Yeah.
So
maybe someone will be there banging Raquel at the event.
Raquel better be in hiding. She better be in witness protection. Nobody wants to see her. I certainly don't. And hopefully she is getting mental help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Yes. We can only hope.
We might be able to get to a day where we can forgive her, but for now we're very angry. Too soon.
I'm all right.
No.
I'm all right.
No.
Trust me, I'm all right.
No, because I'm actually going to put you up to a lot of hypotheticals like IRL if shit like this happened. I do want to know what would you do. Fair?
Sounds riveting.
All right, let's go. Number one. The first thing that happens is that Katie, and now let me just give you a quick diagram. You know that Katie and Ariana are both in 10-year relationships with Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And previously you thought that Katie and Tom Schwartz got a divorce a long time ago. It wasn't. It was in the same year that we're watching this season. It wasn't a year before. It was all brand new. Okay. So we can't dismiss Katie's feelings because Schwartz and him have been divorced for a long time. It had just all gone down.
I mean, she's the one that filed for divorce, no?
Because he cheated on her many times and was excruciatingly dismissive of her feelings, constantly took everyone else's side against her, and does it in this episode as well.
Okay, so then it's more of the reason why she got divorced, no?
Yeah, but I mean, when somebody rejects you and isn't there for you, it's hurtful.
Yeah, and that's why you divorced them, I would think.
Yeah, but it wasn't like she just decided one day to turn over a new leaf and leave him.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying she divorced him.
Yeah. Now, this is what happens. Ariana and Katie are opening up a sandwich on North Robertson. It's called Something About Her. It hasn't opened yet in real life and in real time. So, I think it's going to be really successful.
Okay.
A lot of like a sandwich shop, and they are like trying out the recipes, and there's one called like ricotta, so it's like got like feta cheese in it. It really sounds like a dream. Like when I was trying to write the cookbook and I just wanted to make one of the recipes was a sandwich, and I had like crispy, crunchy bread with like potato chips. And I don't think the publisher dug it, but anyway. Okay. So what's happening is that Ariana is really good friends with Katie, and she's also really good friends with Raquel. Okay. Well, Raquel has spent this whole season gushing and what's the word for like taking it really like a joke when she's really like making out with Tom Schwartz, Katie's freshly new ex.
Taking it as a joke.
Just being really cavalier and insensitive and cunty.
Ambivalent.
Yeah, just horrible.
Yeah.
Okay. Like sociopath.
She's horrible. Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
So what's happening is we're seeing like there's going to be this big opening party in this episode, which there is.
I thought they didn't open.
That they're having a little tasting.
Oh, okay.
So they invited their closest friends to come and take a taste of the sandwiches.
Taste these nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
I don't know the logistics of actually opening. I don't know what the lease is going to cost. I don't know. I hope it happens for them.
It's a sandwich spot.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing it like, because they're still not open.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. But they did a tasting.
Yeah. We only have like 30 minutes.
Well, it was to probably fit within the confines of the filming schedule. I get it. You know what I mean? They probably put a little bit of a rush on it. A sandwich shop shouldn't take that long to open.
Well, if you want a timeline, remember, we could have gone to Sheena's wedding. We got the invitation in the mail. We know for a fact that was the last week of August.
Okay.
So we're now that's the same weekend, Sheena's wedding, where
it's May.
Tom Sandoval.
It's almost a fucking year.
Tom Sandoval and Raquel fucked or made out or did something at Sheena's wedding. They definitely hooked up there.
Well, they were banging for longer than that, no?
No, I think that was supposedly the timeline was August at Sheena's wedding.
Oh, that's where it all kicked off.
So this lease, the sandwich shop was sometime in the fall. And like time flies. Like shit happens. Come on, give him a break.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So let's fast forward just a little bit that anytime you see a scene with Schwartz and Sandoval, right? The two Toms, it seems like they're just like trying to set up this narrative that like
he's going to break up with Ariana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're also trying to like tie off.
I didn't watch the second of the episodes or any of this, and I already know that's because the other guy had to have known, dude.
He did for sure.
No, 1,000,000%. Like your friend knows your best friends, your business partner, all that shit. And again, these people are real incestuous. They've all made out with each other and done whatever with whoever. He definitely knew. So then it's all right. How can we do the damage control on camera so I don't look like a piece of shit? Let's put it out there. Let's figure out how we could do that.
Yeah, and he's also the one that's making out with her.
Yeah.
So it's so gross.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
dude.
it's so gross.
It's not even gross. It's just weird, bro. Like my friend, my closest friend, I'm gonna make out with you. You know what I mean? Like as a cover. You know, you go make out with her, bro. They'll definitely, before I bang her later, I want you to make out with her. Just finger her a little bit just to make me not look that bad. Thanks.
Yeah.
You're a good buddy. You're a good pal. You're a good wingman.
And it just makes me lose so much respect for Schwartz, too, because he's doing all that. And he's just coming off like such a pushover.
I'm shocked you had any respect for him to begin with. I didn't know that he was a habitual cheater on his wife.
I didn't know that either.
If that's the case, you usually don't play with that. So I'm shocked
I know.
that I mean,
because you know that I did like Schwartz a lot, and I did talk to them, and I did.
He seems like a nice guy. You
know
what I mean? He seems like a nice guy, but he also seems like a
pushover.
Yeah, coward. You
coward.
know what I mean? Like coward's the wrong word.
Pussy.
A pushover and a appeaser is probably the right word. You know, I wouldn't be shocked if there was a lot of fighting.
He's a coward.
It just, putting on my psychoanalytical hat, I wouldn't be shocked if there was a lot of fighting in his house growing up, and he was trying to just
hide.
Just trying to make everybody happy. You know what I mean? Just trying to make everybody okay, So.
Well, it seems like he's trying to make anybody but the most important person feel okay, which is always Doesn't matter what Katie thinks, doesn't matter what she feels. And so what happened, oh my God, it's just so disturbing. Like, I didn't know that he was a cheater. And if I do see him on the streets, the next time that I see him, I will give him the cold shoulder. I will look at him and I'm going to shake my head.
Oh, you're going to shun him.
I'm going to shun him because he deserves it.
I doubt it, but okay.
No. I'm going to.
All right.
Now.
It's tough talk from you.
I know.
It, though.
So the two Toms are like having these weird conversations about like, yeah, I don't know why Katie's mad at me. It's like, shut the fuck up. You know exactly why she's mad at you. And you're so selfish and misogynistic, and so they both are. And wait until I tell you what happens. So.
Bated breath.
Seriously. So this is like the cringiest thing. Tom Sandoval says to Schwartz, you know, I just like, I'm the only one that like buys like the paper towels and toilet paper and the batteries and like.
So I'm going to fuck Raquel. I bought all the toilet paper this week. That's it.
And it just doesn't make me feel like she cares about me. Worst acting.
That's like, but it's just real whiny guy. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
And that's where we are as a society, I guess, man. I didn't grow up with men like that, dude. And it's fucking, ugh. Like, you're putting that out there like that's what men are now. That's how we are.
No,
yeah, it's fucking
it's
gross.
not. It's not.
It's gross. Well, grow up.
It does make people, like, if you think about it like that, from a macro POV, they do have the weakest herds for men on that show.
I understand it's a network that's gated and catered to women. But, you know, as a man, if you're in a relationship, you try to watch these shows with women, like, I don't want to see that. Like, grow the fuck up. Get some hair in your nuts, dude.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? It's just like, ugh.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So we cut to this scene where Sandoval is sitting and trying to tell Ariana, like, oh, we've got problems. Like, how come we don't connect? We don't have sex very often. And we're only having sex like 4 times a year. Meanwhile, he's fucking her best friend behind her back.
Chill with the best friend shit, bro. That's a little overblown. They just met this broad.
5 years ago.
Whatever. They might be friends and close on camera. But I don't care how much they even hang out over.
Okay.
But chill with the best friend stuff.
Meanwhile, he's fucking her friend.
Yes. Fucking an acquaintance of hers.
That stays the night and they do everything and they're inseparable with.
Yeah, okay. Well, again, that's
a girl that they're hanging out with nonstop.
Some of that's on Ariana, too. How big of a dingbat could you be that this girl's sleeping over your house and hanging out? And like, she wasn't your friend like that 5 years ago. And now she's your bestie. Sleeping over your house with your boyfriend. It's just, like I said, it's just weird, dude. It's weird.
Well, it definitely lends itself to, like, watch your back and don't trust anybody.
Well, I don't necessarily say don't trust anybody. Definitely don't trust anybody on this cast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would not be comfortable. Listen, even if I was promised that nobody was going to have sex with each other, I would not be comfortable with night after night of having somebody stay over.
For sure.
You know,
and again,
like, we're adults. Come on.
It's not just that. It's a different thing when you're sleeping over. You're going to dress different. Mm-hmm. You're going to look different. Mm-hmm. You know, what do you
mean?
The clothes, like, pajamas aren't the same as what you're wearing in the house,
oh,
right?
Right.
You know, the fucking wind, all of a sudden it's a little cold out. Your nipples are fucking hard. You know what I'm saying? You got plumber butt. It's a different. It's
more intimate.
Yes. Once in a while, it happens. Yeah, too much to drink. But night after night after night, I don't care. I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
It would make me uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't lend itself to appropriateness.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
It's not, like, if it was it could be.
It's happened before.
My friend's sister. Mm-hmm. And I would be like, I don't want her staying over anymore like that because it makes me uncomfortable. I come out to go to the kitchen in the morning and, you know, she just woke up. She fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's not appropriate, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? And again, it's something in your 20s, maybe.
Sure.
That's a different type of life. But these people, they're not kids anymore, bro. They've been on TV 10 years. So I know all of them got to be pushing 40. Yeah. This is like way too much of a frat house type lifestyle when, like, grow the fuck up, dude. You know what I mean?
It's true. And so I know that, like, that's why I agree with you on that's why you don't share that intimate space with somebody. It's just not appropriate unless you're
again,
all single.
but
if
no,
you're all single,
and
fine.
again, listen, with the environment that we're talking about, once in a while, I get it. You know what I'm saying? If you have too many drinks and you have the room, and it's better than fucking getting the Uber late night or driving late night, yeah. But if you're talking like night after night, or she's staying here now consistently, it's weird, dude. You know, and if she has the money to afford to like. It's one thing if you have a relative come stay with you, right? Like she's going to school or some shit. You know what I mean? And she that's different. You know what I mean? Or she's younger. You know, it's different.
Well, but
like in your same age group and your same peer group, it's strange, dude.
Also, certain men and women in Persian culture, a man staying in a house in our culture, if you're following the culture, they would not leave the room that they're staying in without being fully dressed in full street clothes. They will not. Even if they have to use a bathroom that's down the hall, those are the kind of boundaries you're talking about. Like, don't come downstairs into the kitchen with like plumber's butt or no bra or whatever. Like, you have to, that's an unspoken boundary that some people practice it and some people don't. So if you're going to be like, oh, I don't care if I don't have a bra on, or if I don't care if I don't have a shirt on, and it's like, then your significant other walks into the room. That's a kind of intimacy that's like that language. You just, either you do it or you don't. And if you don't, then yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
And it's not family. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, it's like I said, it's just, from that is jump. From that's weird. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care how close Ariana is to her. I wouldn't want that.
Right.
You know?
Well, the reason why this scene is so polarizing is that everyone at home has been in that position where a relationship is rocky, but can you save it? Is it salvageable? And you just don't know where the other person's headspace is. Like, let's say you and I were like, hey, you know, it's been a long time since we have had quality time. Well,
if you have someone staying over all the fucking time, how are you going to have that quality time? So that's on Ariana too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who is on their pulpit right now yelling.
They're not yelling, but
I'm talking from the mountaintop, screaming that, yo, we need to connect and blah. Throwing someone else in the mix on a regular basis is never going to give you that time.
Right.
So for that standpoint alone, they should be like, she needs to sleep on a different couch tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We need to hang out, or we need to do our thing together. There's no kids, so there's going to be any other distractions. They're creating a distraction by throwing this girl into the mix.
Right. So in this particular era of the show we're watching, she's not crashing there at the time. It's not addressed like that, but the reason why I think the world is so invested in this subject matter and this scene is because everyone's been in that position where they're like not as connected as they once were. You know, like Tom and Ariana have been together for 10 years, right? Maybe 12. And what they're talking about is that they don't spend as much time together. They don't see each other. They're not having like those endless hours like you and I, like when we first met, endless hours of just like watching whatever on TV or just going everywhere together. Like when you start to become an adult and you start adulting, you're so incredibly busy trying to be responsible. Yeah,
but that's not what they're talking here. He needs time. He needs time to blow off steam. He's fucking, you know, it's not, none of these people are adulting. You know what I mean?
They're choosing. So what his gripe is that she goes out and does stuff with like her gay best friends, and she's like, yeah, and you go out and you do your peacocking and having a good time, but by the time you're exhausted, I get like the very last round of you're about to pass out, and therefore there's the cycle. If the conversation wasn't like he wasn't cheating on her, then it would have been a completely fair, and therefore that's why it's so relatable. It's like, you're busy, I'm busy, we're both busy, we're not nurturing the relationship. The quality has gone down because we don't have quality time the way we used to. That's why everyone is hooked.
Well, I think that you're right. Saying that what you just said is relatable, but what you're talking about with them is not.
No.
It sounds like they're just in a state of arrested development, dude. You know what I mean? Like, he needs to go out and get whacked. And
Yeah.
she's out doing whatever. And it's just like, again, these people are pushing 40. You know what I mean? At some point in time, what's our, let's sit down. What's our 5-year plan? You know what I mean? Where are we going to be in 5 years? Is it this? Is it more of this? You know what I mean? Because if it's more of this, then I'm not stunned that he started banging some other broad, because it's not a thing. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. So let me tell you what happens later, because it's flooring. Like flooring? It floors me. Okay. So long story short, he's like trying to convince her that he wants to try, but it's all a lie.
Because he's banging someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in parts of you says like to yourself while you're watching this, like, wow, it looks like he's being sincere. But then you know, yes.
That's and now he looks so much worse.
Horrible.
Because now you look like a fucking actor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
like that's bad.
Exactly. And we know that Ariana doesn't know anything, but she's being sweet. She's being genuine in this moment. And what I'm dying for Andy to ask her, because she's going to have a live real Watch What Happens live right after the reunion with Andy.
I bet.
I want to know, how often, looking back, do you think that there were signs of Rachel and Sandoval like hooking up that you now, like, maybe did you ignore? Like, when was the first time? Give us as many specifics as possible.
Well, you and Melissa Gorga, because I edited it today, you guys were on our Till the Dirt podcast. For those out there that don't know, we have our own podcast, Till the Dirt. Check it out. It's been, we've had it on for a while. But you guys did your episode, and she made a point, or she made a comment that you both agreed on, that sometimes it's your friend that watches that reminds you about what something happened. So I don't necessarily know, especially if it did hit her as hard, there might be some trauma attached where she doesn't necessarily remember some shit. But I guarantee you that watching some of the show back, especially from what you've told me, the breadcrumbs that they've thrown out has made her, oh shit, how did I not see that? Oh shit.
Yeah.
How did I not see that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why there's still a part of me that thinks that it's not as, as not as, like, it was, I think, a lot more contrived than people think.
Well, so Sandoval does an interview where he's like, I want to, like, take mushrooms and watch a sunrise, and I want to go hang gliding and go skinny dipping. Like, I need stimuli. And I'm like, I want to kill him.
Yeah, like you're grown.
Then do that.
Yeah.
But okay, I want to ask you. I told you I was going to ask you now. If you and I wanted to take our relationship back to the beginning days that everyone loves, to like, oh my God, that was so fun. Like, we would have to do stuff like that. We'd have to be like, okay, the kid's going to have to like start going to a babysitter. We're going to have to start considering doing like weekends where we just spend time together alone and forego work and forego all the things. Like if we exercise, we worked out together. If we,
they don't have any of that.
Watch something on TV, we watch that together.
But they don't have any of that though. Like if he needs these things, and listen, getting married, starting a family, that's not necessarily for everybody. You can't I can't look at him like, oh, you don't want to do that, so you're fucking strange. I mean, maybe, I know people.
They did have that embryo thing that
whatever,
he apparently
I'm
wasn't going
just
to
saying,
go through with
I've got friends that, want to be eternal bachelors. They don't want kids. I'm like, fine, great. But then you don't get in a relationship where you buy property together and you move in together. You just date, dude, until it eventually you go your separate ways. You know what I mean? Either she finds someone that wants a little bit more, or they just get tired of whatever it is each other. But you definitely don't move in and nest and do all that and then say, I want to take mushrooms and go skinny dipping and fucking. It's just different from the jive of what you're doing. You know?
I disagree. They were in a committed relationship for all these years. We've seen them for years talk about.
That's what you think. You think he wasn't banging someone else this whole time? Then you're fucking stupid. I love you, but that's stupid. He's banging someone in their circle. I guarantee you this guy was banging other chicks that just weren't on TV. Promise.
It's probably going to come out if that's true.
I promise. They've already said that there were other girls. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to wager that there was definitely, this isn't an isolated incident.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, though. If anyone who relates as a husband and wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend, don't you think that if you do want to go back to that beginning stuff, that you have to give up a lot? Like if you and I wanted to, we would have to give up a lot of what we do today on a daily basis in order to have some of that old stuff.
It's very different when you have a kid. It's very different.
Right. There's a lot of...
And for us, a lot, you have to realize your father got sick. That threw a lot, you know what I mean? These people haven't had any of that. They haven't had any of that. So they really should not be in that phase. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have, they're not married. They're on a TV show. It's not like they're out carrying fucking cement. So the gig they have is pretty easy. They should still, if they were that desperately in love, they should be doing all these things together. I want to go, eat shrooms on the Mount Peachy or whatever the fuck together. I want to go skinny dipping in the Nile together. They shouldn't be doing different things. They shouldn't, and it sounds like they both have very different ideas of what they want to be doing. She'd rather hang out with her gay best friends, and he'd rather hang out with these people. Then what are you doing together? You have no attachment. You know what I'm saying? You're not required to be together, but you're spending all your time apart. Then why be together? Oh, because you're on a fucking television show, and the business part of it, which is, I'm sure, makes it's like Louis C.K. said in stand-up. He has a stand-up where he talks about before he got married, he got engaged, and you think, I can't leave once I got engaged. And then you get married, and you're like, oh, shit, now I can't leave. And then you have a baby, and you're like, oh, shit, now I really can't leave. And I think that's where they were at, that, like, we can't leave. We're on the show together, and a whole thing is Tom and Ariana, and it makes them a little resentful because I want to go take shrooms and swim naked and maybe fuck a girl that's out there skinny dipping, but I can't because of the show, So it's like you start to leave separate lives when you shouldn't be because you don't have those things. They should be together. You know what I mean?
Well, now Tom Sandoval will hopefully not be able to fuck anything or anyone. Okay, maybe a glory hole if he has a really strong screwdriver. Okay,
there'll always be some girl out there.
I hope not.
There'll always be.
I saw him at the airport.
OJ dated again.
True. Yeah. I saw Tom Sandoval footage of him going through security at the airport. He was like rail thin. Kind of felt sorry for him. He was alone, which is kind of sad because like he should have so many people around him during this like extremely crazy time. But nope, all by himself.
At the airport. A lot of people travel by you know what I mean? Like, what are you expecting?
If you're him, airport? I wouldn't leave the house to go get my newspaper at the end of the lawn by
but that's going to be real tough. That guy thinks he's a star, dude. This is killing him. I don't
even think he had sunglasses. That was terrible. Anyway, it was terrible. And he didn't even have TSA.
Oh.
Terrible.
He had a little too much TNA.
He should he should have one of those concierge things where you don't have to even go through the gate.
Let's not get carried away, bro.
I mean,
he's not.
If he posts on Instagram for that shuttle service, because they do offer it.
Okay, good.
They slide into your DMs like, hey, like if you're nobody and you want to pay the full price, you have no Instagram, you just pay us like $2,500.
You just called them nobody.
No, the people that offer the concierge service for full price. Without having a public figure and a social media following.
You just said if you're nobody.
What I meant was if you don't have any following or any social media and you have to pay the full price.
Good. Clean that up.
Okay. So.
Yeah, I got you.
If you're a company that. Okay.
If you're an influencer, we'll do it for you.
That's all I meant to say.
Okay.
I was trying to say the concierge will offer, this is how much it costs.
Yeah.
But if you've got a social media account that's big, we'll give you whatever. Yeah. Moving on. Here's what I was going to say. There is a dual action psychosis in the remainder of the episode. Ariana has to talk Raquel into explaining, like, you are a good person, right? You are that sweet person, right? Because help me make sense of why you're continuing to pursue Schwartz. I mean, it really hurts Katie. And remember Vegas when all the girls went on this trip and she sat there and told Katie and Katie's mom that I don't need to go for Schwartz. As a matter of fact, he already turned me down. And
So I'm gonna bang the other Tom.
so in this moment where Raquel's already fucking Ariana's man, Ariana is like, hey, listen, I just,
Sounds like she's a little bit of a concierge service. She's been around, bro. That chick's been around.
Oh, that's funny.
She's been around, dude.
Yeah, she's
DJ James Kennedy, right?
yeah. Peter Madrigal.
She ever banged Jax?
Oliver. No.
Okay.
No, Jax was off the market.
That's the only other guy I know on the show. So
yeah.
But yeah, it sounds like she's been around, man. She banged the Bouvier's kid, right?
Who's that? Yep.
Garcelle
Bouvier's son.
Sounds like she's been around, man. And people are stunned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's 5.
Yeah.
So, what Ariana?
Within the crew.
Yes.
You know
immediate,
what I mean? Yeah.
immediate crew.
Yeah.
So what Ariana's trying to do is she's trying to say, make this make sense because, and then she says, and I quote, if I were in Katie's position, I would feel some kind of way. If I had to, yes.
Yeah,
she
was
says
tell
that.
her, well, wait till you find out, girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Raquel's like, well, she's trying to take a temperature on Ariana. Do you want to stay with him? Because remember when you said that you've had a dry spell with sex?
Now,
she's asking Ariana about their sex life.
No, let me ask you this. They haven't talking heads during this type of shit?
No.
There's
no, they do.
So she's not having a talking head at any point in time? Like you never...
Yeah, they are.
Okay, and what's she saying in her talking heads?
In the interview bites?
Yeah.
I mean, she's just saying, Ariana's saying like, these
Not
are
Ariana. Raquel.
Oh, Raquel is tripling down.
She is?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's like, I don't care.
Okay.
These are, and then she's always like professing how loyal this friend group is. Like, these are my people. These, Ariana has opened herself up. So Sheena opened her whole entire life and really taken me under their wings and brought me into their friend group. And I feel so whole. I mean, like she's professing this, like being received, and it's horrifying. Like
That's not smart. It's not smart. At least the other two are trying to do some damage control.
Yeah.
Sandoval and Schwartz.
Yeah. So, because I know it's crystal clear to everybody at this point that Sandoval is going to dump Sandoval is going to dump Ariana and make Raquel the new boo.
And it's clear in the episode.
No, because of what you know.
Because of what you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. So the worst thing ever is that Raquel keeps inserting herself in these wacky, like loony scenarios where like she goes up to Katie, who hates her guts right now, and is like, congratulations on your sandwich. They taste good.
I love meat in my mouth. Your sandwiches are great.
Gross.
Yeah.
Nima hooked up with her, remember?
No, did he?
Oh, yeah.
He closed that deal? I don't think so.
Oh, allegedly many times.
Oh, really? All right, good for him. I didn't think he was a closer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does well in New York.
All right.
Allegedly.
Okay.
And what I was saying was that like she sat in front of Katie and was like, I know that you heard that I made out with Schwartz last night, and I know that you're really upset about it, and I know that you're even more upset about it because he made out with me. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing? So Katie does not figure out how to land the plane. She's like sitting there listening to it, and you're like, nobody would have that self-control. Like, this is the moment where you just want to scratch your eyes out. You just want to, like, how do you stay and sit there and not like throw a massive pitcher of Duraflame in her face.
Well, I think part of it is she filed for divorce, and so you don't want to give him that. You know what I'm saying?
Katie says, he's my husband. Why do you care? Why are you asking me all these questions?
They're still married?
At this time, the divorce wasn't final, but they were separated and everything. They were getting a divorce and everything. It was just the weirdness that Raquel inserted herself.
Well, she's been inserting herself into these people's lives since she's been on the scene, dude.
It was
That's why I'm
so
stunned.
awful.
Like if you got to have some sort of sixth sense, bro. When you've been on these when you've been on TV for a minute and you're living in the public eye, you should have a sixth sense about people. That whether or not they're there for and the reasons that they're there.
I think I think they were desperate for someone to mix it up too.
But trust me, I'm not even close, not even a freckle on a mole of the ass of the rest of the people that are on Shahs, right? I was on it. I'm your husband, boyfriend, whatever. But I could tell right away once I was on TV of people that now wanted to be my friend because I was on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, it didn't take long for that. It didn't take 5 years for me to notice that. Right away, you could kind of pick up on like, I got it.
Yeah.
Now we're friends.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, you can't tell that with this fucking broad. Like, you could smell it from the set. Like, I could, in 10 seconds of hanging out with her, I could tell that she was along for the fucking ride, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that, all right, maybe the producers love her or whatever it is, cool, we keep her around. But you keep her at an arm's length if that's the case. These people invited her into their homes. And, like, some of that's on you, dude. You know what I mean? Some of that, like, if,
It's funny you should say that.
It's like the fucking uncle that's a child molester, bro. And everybody in the family kind of knew already. You don't let that kid go near. You know what I'm saying? At some point, it's your fault if you're letting him babysit, dude. You know what I mean?
Okay, well... I don't like it when you use those kind of examples.
I'm just saying, dude.
What I think is this, okay? Katie Maloney was in a dead-end relationship with Tom Schwartz for many years. And it was probably very boring and disappointing and disheartening. Like when you're...
It sounds like they both are.
Yeah.
It sounds like they both are.
And
Again,
that's a majority.
It sounds like
that's
they're
the cast. And
it
that's
sounds
the
like
cast.
TV relationships, dude, that they're worried.
They were both, 10
that
years
they're
together,
worried
both
that
of them.
if we break up, what happens?
Yes.
What happens to the show? What happens to the income? Is it me that's gone? Are you gone? Or like, how does that? I don't want you to be gone. I don't want to be with you, but I don't want you to be X'd out. I definitely don't want to be X'd out.
Right.
So it just sounds like they're forced into this relationships of having to be together for TV, and that sucks.
Because Katie Maloney's best friends were Stassi.
And she's gone.
Fired.
Yeah.
And, with Kristen getting let go, Stassi and Jax getting let go, they were only really friends with the people that are gone.
Yeah.
And she was never friends with James Kennedy because he would fat shame her every time that they were in a scene together.
Okay.
And then she didn't like Raquel because Raquel was James Kennedy's, hot air balloon girlfriend. And and Lala would go topless when Katie wasn't around and therefore made Katie feel uncomfortable. So there was no friendships. And she never liked Sheena. And Sheena and her were never friends.
And you can't.
So when you break down the cast, there's no friendships.
Yeah. And
so the only thing they had with it.
Even if off camera she's still friends with Stassi, she can't be friends with Stassi on camera after she's fired.
She doesn't exist.
Yes, doesn't exist. She's a myth. So you got to try and make the best of it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like I said, it's...
so the cast really is not a cast of friends.
Yes.
Then when they had no other choice, they started to hang out like Ariana and Raquel, and then Katie barely. And then that's probably why they were like, well, the person I can tolerate the most, I guess, is my husband of 10 years.
Yeah.
Cut to Katie and Ariana with Tom and Tom.
Yeah.
So the episode ends with this, okay? Katie cannot for the life of her step up and stand up to serve Raquel the way that she deserves. She can't utter words. She's like stifled and like it's almost like a recurring dream where you like want to scream for help and your voice box is like shut down.
Which is surprising because she had the balls to end the divorce and to rip off a Band-Aid when she wasn't happy when, you know, outside looking in, other people might have thought, what are you doing? You know what I mean? He's a great
She
guy.
couldn't. She couldn't do it.
But
she couldn't do it. And
it's
you
not
wanted
like
her to.
She's not like a fearsome opponent.
No.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you or Reza, for example, if you're someone that wanted to go at them on that cast, might be intimidated to go at you or to go at Reza.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't necessarily want to go, you know, so like a newbie that comes into the show or someone like, I'm not going to test MJ or I'm not going to test Reza. I'll test Asa or I'll test, you know what I mean? Destiny or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she's a fucking paper bag, dude.
Totally.
You know what I mean? That you like, that's someone you make your bones with. You know what I mean? Like,
so true.
Like,
Katie
to not have the fear to like, oh, well, you know.
And when you're watching, I mean, this is so much like sports. Like when you want to watch someone run the ball to the end zone and they fumble, like that's how we felt watching Katie.
Yeah.
Because she just couldn't do it. And you were like, why are you being so nice?
But that might be an element of it too, because the other chick seems real innocent when she's right in front of you. You know what I mean? And you feel like, I don't want to look like a fucking bully. Because again, you know what she's done.
Right.
Everyone knows what she's done.
Yes.
Right now, she doesn't know that she's done all that.
True,
She's
very
made out
true.
with a boyfriend or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
A husband that I broke up with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
I'm going to look bad if I tear her to shreds.
Yeah.
Why not just be with him?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like...
And then,
that, trust me, I'm sure she's sitting there now watching it like, I should have fucking ripped that bitch to shreds.
I'm sure.
You know what I mean?
well, when she was on Watch What
Like,
Happens.
it's easy for Lala to do it because she has no attachment to any of these people. Plus, she
100%.
has her own skeleton. So it's like, way to bury a skeleton is by showing your shit. You know what I mean? So it's easy for her to come out with the fangs when it's not on her.
Yeah.
But when the other one's in the minute, and again, the other one's like Bambi, dude.
Yeah.
She is.
Bambi-eyed
yeah,
bitch.
you know what I mean? So it's just like, you feel like you look bad. If you know.
And Tom Schwartz keeps on defending Raquel's side. I want to know, why does Tom Schwartz, knowing everything that he knew in that real time, why does he keep on taking Raquel's side? Because they go outside, there's a big blow up.
He's banging her.
No. Schwartz only had the kiss.
Oh, no. Well, Schwartz is, again, he definitely knew what was going on, bro.
But he could have, like, been somewhat way more supportive, and been like, Raquel, get out of here. We're in the middle of a conversation.
But that's his buddy's girl. When his buddy's telling him, trust me, that I wish that there was no cameras, I would just be with Raquel. I would just be with her. She lights a fire in my soul, or whatever the fuck nonsense he talks. So what's he going to do? Rip her? And then she's going to tell Sandoval, and he's going to be like, how are you being so hard on Raquel, bro? You know
he needs to at least say, Raquel, like, I'm having a conversation. Like, because what Katie said in the alley behind Sir, which is where, like, all the most epic shit happens, is she was like, my self-confidence is worn down to shreds.
Okay.
She was being intimate with Schwartz. She was like, what the fuck is going on? Because when there's this like big blowout and Raquel just keeps grinding Katie, Tom is literally standing and hiding behind a plant. And a couple of people commented like, are you just going to stand there? Peter Madrigal, are you just going to stand there and hide behind the plant? He starts whistling, literally. Like, I was like, yeah, what? That is why he is a turd. That is why I will never talk to him again. That is why he is a coward. And it is not too harsh to use that word, because he doesn't step in. He sees conflict and he knows it's over him and he hides.
Yeah. Well,
It's
listen, some guys
disgusting.
like that shit too, dude. Some guys like that.
It's gross.
Listen, she divorced him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, like, he might like that element of, he's a nice guy.
They're
right?
fighting over it.
Yeah.
So there was this tea online yesterday that said Sandoval Schwartz was at a bar, super drunk in South Carolina, saying how their bar, Schwartz and Sandy's, is making no money. He was talking about Katie the whole time, and that
You can't believe that
Raquel
shit, though.
is in a mental facility, and
Yeah, you
I
can't
hope
believe
that's
that.
true.
But you can't believe that shit in South Carolina.
it might be true.
It might not be. You can't just spout it out there like it's truth, though. You know what I mean?
Well, he did talk to me about her
when you
the
say-
whole time. When the rumor about him making out with her at Coachella came out, but it was the wrong Tom. And I came back and I was like, Tom, did you make out with Raquel at Coachella, and we were at Tom Tom's, and he was like, and he sighed, and he didn't lie, he didn't say no or yes, but then he kept on talking about Katie the whole time. So I was like, okay, whatever. Like, when you fuck up, you fuck up. It's in your hands if you're gonna make good on something. And this whole thing is happening. Katie is like, oh, Ariana goes and starts crying on LVP, like literally a tears of Niagara Falls all over her, like silk Dolce and Gabbana. And Sandoval doesn't even go and check on her. He's like standing in the fire between our Katie and Raquel, saying like taking Raquel's side, like, hey, why are you doing this? Like, you had a boyfriend, like you were making out, you're the one that filed for divorce, you had another. I mean, we at home want to kill Sandoval. And finally one of the girls says, that's your girl, that's where you should be sitting. Look, she's sitting there crying. Go to your relationship, she's right there. And it's like, why are you standing there? This is what proves your guilt. Why are you even taking Raquel's side? Because everything that comes out of Raquel's mouth sounds like she was coached. Because
that's listen, a lot of this this whole scene you set up sounds to me coached by everybody. So I don't know how much to really believe. Like I said, we at face value, I have a show that was dying, that was on life support. That had nothing going on. And all of a sudden, now it has a ton of stuff going on. We're doing a fucking podcast about it. You know what I mean? I don't trust that there wasn't more than meets the eye with a lot of this shit, dude. I really don't.
We'll see.
We will.
So there's rumors that there's a Netflix show coming out with some former Vanderpump alumni. You heard it here first. Unless you heard it somewhere else, but I don't think honest to God, I'm not trying to, whatever. I'm just not going to say anything. I'll leave it right there. How about that? Okay.
I think you said enough.
Yes. So next week, so Katie calls her a cunt. Thank God. And then,
thank God.
Lala's like, why are you even trying to like talk to this buffoon? You'll have more luck making like progress with a pig. Okay. So next week is the week. It's the finale of VPR, and it is the night where
the proverbial shit hits the fan.
Yeah, and Sandoval says, I was planning on breaking up with Ariana. Really? In a week you're gonna break up with your girlfriend?
Well, it's not real time a week. It's a week from the last episode to this episode.
I need a timeline.
Well, but you do. You need some what do you
timeline.
call it? No, what did he call that?
No, okay, I'm just gonna ask Sheena.
No, forget it. Like when you go to, was it like
a ticker?
No, like when you.
I know what you're talking about. When you're doing the
like a meeting and you're doing a presentation.
Yeah, PowerPoint.
Yes, I need a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do need a PowerPoint.
Yeah, I need a Powerpoint breakdown. Yes.
At our next live podcast, we're gonna do a PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, sounds amazing.
So this is the VPR recap. Thank you for joining us. And remember, when you are at the end of this podcast, make a comment, give us 5 stars, share it with a friend, because we can never get enough of our reality tea. And
for now, it's back to reality.